Alright, hi guys, welcome to How to Play, brought to you by Live Play Layout. Now, and today we'll be featuring a game called Oh My Orchids that's designed by a local Singaporean publisher called Orchids. Now, this game features different types of flora and flowers, but specifically orchids. And it's because Singapore's national flower is an orchid, so we just want to feature something about Singapore. Right, and all the flowers and the orchids that's featured in this game have been chosen after consulting with the Singapore Botanic Gardens. Alright, so guys, let's crack on and find out how to play the game. So let's look at the components of the game. Now, if we flip to the back of the box, you will see the components listed over here. Alright, so let's find out what's inside. Now, there are a total of 3 different types of groups of cards. The first one is the purple cards. These are the orchids. There are a total of 12 of them. The second one you see here, this is the orange card. These are the flowers, and there are a total of 30 cards. And last but not least, these brown cards are actually the seed types, and there are a total of 64 different seed type cards. Right, so there you have it, 12 orchids, 30 flowers, 64 seed type cards. And you also have a player aid, a total of 5 player aid cards, as well as a rule book. And that's all you need to do. Let's look at how to set up the game. Now, first up, just distribute the player aid cards to all the players. And next, we will set up according to the top, middle, and bottom row. Right at the top, we have the orchid cards, the purple color. The middle row, we have the flower cards, the orange ones. And last but not least, the brown color cards, which are the seed types, right at the bottom row. Okay, so after you've done that, you need to flip open the cards. For the orchids, you need to open 3. For the flowers, 4. And the seed types, 5. And there you have it. This is how you set up the game. And this is how we play the game. So on your turn, you can perform one of 2 actions. The first is to collect your seeds, and there are 2 ways you can collect them. The first way is to collect them by color. When you do so, you must collect all colors. The second way you can do so is to collect by type. So there are 4 different types represented by 1, 2, 3, and 4. And likewise, if you're collecting by type, you need to collect all of the same type. Now, once you collect them, it goes into your hand. And do note, there can only be a maximum of 7 cards in your hand. If there are any excess cards, the cards will then go underneath your player aid, which will result in a -1 point per card at the end of the game. So that's the first action that you can do. The second action you can do is to plant a flower or an orchid. And this is how you can do so. So in this case of the white cups here, this number on the left represents the total number of cards you require in order to plant it. And the criteria is that all 3 cards must be the same color, represented by this rainbow ball over here. Now, in this case of the torch ginger, the criteria is that your cards must have an exact number of 10 seeds. Alright, so you all must add up to exactly 10. And then last but not least, this number, you may see some cards like this. This is an orchid, the dancing ladies. You need a total of 6 cards. In this case, 3 different pairs of different color. So you may have 2 reds, 2 blues, and 2 yellows. So this symbol means not equals to. Hence, 3 different pairs of different colors. So that's how you play the game. Right, so here's an example of how we start the game. So on my turn, I've decided to go with the seed types. So I'm just taking this. After we've collected it, we're just going to replenish the deck. Alright, and then the second player goes, for example, the player decides to go with the color. So because she needs to take all the colors, this goes into her hand. Alright, same thing, we're going to replenish it. Alright, and in my case, I've decided to go for 1 type. So there's only 1 of the 4 seed type over here. So that's it, all I need to do. And then assuming that she does the same. So now it comes back to my turn. And right now, I actually fulfill one of the criteria over here, and that is the torch ginger. Now I need to have exactly 10 seeds in order to plant this, and here I have it. So 3, 6 plus 4 equals to 10. I will discard this into the discard pile, and this goes into my hand. Now, when the first player finishes planting 7 orchids or flowers, it will trigger a final round where every other player will get one last action to plant a flower. And so how do we go about doing the scoring? All we need to do is to tally up all the points that you see represented by the petals. So in this case, we have 7 plus 3, 10. We have 6 plus 4, 10. That's 20. That's 30. So this player, in this case me, I have 38 points. Now, this is just the first part of the scoring. The second part of the scoring can be found on your player aid card under endgame scoring. So these numbers represents the different types of flowers that you have. If you have 4 different types, you add an additional 3 points, 5 equals to 6, so on and so forth. And that's how you trigger endgame scoring. Right, so here are 3 different tips you may want to adopt. The first one is to choose your seeds wisely in order to optimize the combinations. The second tip is to plant carefully because orchids are actually worth of higher points. And also do take note of the end game scoring bonus points where you get more points for more variety of flowers. And last but not least, have a plan B because you never know. Someone out there might be aiming for the same flower as you.